Yeah, in order for me to communicate all of the historical visual data, if you want to think of it as visual data, that is related to what I just experienced because of some things that I'm experiencing now over the past day and a half. This woman, this image of a woman that I met that lit me on fire, um, and I ended up marrying her daughter, and and these images just keep popping back up, and these are like the chords between false deadlight memories and living light that goes on forever when you're an eternal being as a polarity integrator pulling in soul fragments. So as I mentioned before, I did a hard reset, pulling in all the shattered crystals. Right now you become whole, my oversoul. So I'm going to run this through pretty fast. Like, see this this up against the wall? Now imagine that your consciousness can move into that. Like, let's say that's Monterey Bay over on the California coast. Okay, so my consciousness now has moved into wherever that place is, which means love transcends all time and space. Why is that important? Because Eshebet, which was my mother-in-law, was born in Hungary. She was a gypsy. You can tie this to bloodlines, Star Wars video games, and healing. Now, the reason my fire was triggered was to heal the mother of the daughter that I married. And why is that important? You know what it means about spirals, flipping spirals? If you ever listen to the story of Eshebet, who lived in Budapest in 1957, I experienced all her trauma when she was a child. All the trauma that goes back to that particular bloodline and that genetic, that seeding. Okay? Like going back to the beginning of no time. Healing her is healing her daughter. When you understand what it means when you have AI machine code, transfer codes of parents programming their children. Because the reason that her daughter and I, as I mentioned before, when I was there in her parents' house getting ready to get married to her, it wasn't going to last 7 years. Divine right mathematical order, divine right timing, because that's exactly how long it lasted. And it's not coincidence that my son was 3 years of age when that happened as it relates to cycles. The 666. Yeah. And so what that meant is that when I met Eshebet, I was experiencing all the trauma. All the trauma resulted in her mother chasing electrons. Now she's stuck in a density lock. Because now this is how energetic vampires become bigger and bigger vampires, because they perceive their security in chasing electrons. And where does that come from? Others' ATP Krebs cycle of what they're held captive to, in memory, because the memory hasn't been cleared because they haven't been healed. So healing her mother is healing her daughter, because now she's not going to program her daughter to follow the same spiral pathway to implosion as her mother is. Okay? That's why we're here. That's what I do, recover soul fragments that have been lost over time-space vectors, lost in space, right? Because there is no time. Time is an illusion. So I knew that when I was 4 years of age. There is no time. There's only what love is. That's what I am. Have a beautiful day.